The wait is over, Tortured Poets Department is finally here. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about every song on the album here on the channel. We're gonna be doing lyric deep dives, we're gonna be doing Easter egg hunts starting tomorrow with the Fortnite music video. But first I wanna dive into first impressions. So I woke up at 6 a.m. to check out the album immediately. I have to say, upon the first listen, I already loved it. And of course, we found out that we were completely crazy about everything, and we did get a second drop, similar to what she did on Midnights a few hours later. She released a deluxe edition, which is something that we talked about here on the channel that she would potentially do. But what's amazing is that I was concerned it was gonna have just the 4 extra songs, but actually we got 15 more songs, so we have a total of 31 new songs, which is crazy. But for now in this video, we're gonna go over the songs that really stood out to me on the first listen and just talk about overall first impressions. But rest assured, over the next weeks or months, we're gonna be trying to unfold everything that is coming here on the Tortured Poets Department. Starting out with Fortnite, which she announced will be the first single, and I think for a lot of us the big question was, is this AI TikTok viral version going to be similar or the same as the song that actually is getting put out? And of course the answer was no, and it's not that I'm disappointed, but I did really also like the AI version of it. But all in all, I'm just really looking forward to the music video, because the clips that she shared already are in like a very different aesthetic than what I picture when I listen to this album and what came from the imagery that she already shared. Next, let's talk about the Tortured Poets Department, the title track. I was very curious about how she was going to incorporate, if she was going to incorporate the words Tortured Poets Department, because as you see, it doesn't really roll off the tongue, but she did it really well. It's only on the verse, so it's not something that's supposed to be a hook. But there are some lyrics that jumped out to me, and I'm sure it jumped out to anybody who heard it upon the first time. Before we get to that though, she also sings, "We declared Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist," and I love Charlie Puth, so... But anyway, now let's get into the juice of the song. So she sings, "I wonder if you're gonna screw this up with me, but you told Lucy you'd kill yourself if I ever leave, and I said that to Jack about you, so I felt seen." Now people are already going around saying that this is about Matty Healy because he was friends with Lucy from Boy Genius. But for some reason, I'm not really buying it. Like, I don't feel like Taylor would name her entire album an era after a song written about Matty Healy. Sorry. But this is where these like heart-wrenching lyrics that I was talking about come in. We already hear desperation here. She told Jack he would want to kill himself if she left because that made her feel seen, meaning that the person that she was with was not making her feel seen. And therefore she needed outside validation from other people for something that maybe she already knew was going downhill. We will do a whole video on this, but there's one more piece of lyrics that I want to talk about before we move on, because it just really broke me. "At dinner you take my ring off my middle finger and put it on the one people put wedding rings on, and that's the closest I've ever come to my heart exploding." Needless to say, weddings and rings and marriage are a major theme that plays in this album. Now let's move on to My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. When the song started, I was like, I don't think this one's for me, but by the time that it ended, I was like, I love this song. I don't know what it was about it that when it started, I wasn't sure, and then by the end, I don't know. What was your experience with it? Now let's skip to So Long London, because this was a very anticipated one. There were rumors going around that it was like over 13 minutes long, and that like the length of the song was her and Joe's anniversary date and all that. But it actually clocks in under 5 minutes. The lyrics that stood out the most to me in this song were, "You swore that you loved me, but where were the clues? I died on the altar waiting for the proof." This made me think back to You're Losing Me, where she sings, "And I wouldn't marry me either." And like I said, this plays a major theme throughout the album. Just painful to hear, like she's basically saying that she was left at the altar waiting to see if he would make that commitment. This could of course also just be some sort of religious reference, which is something that she has done, especially in her relationship with Joe, for example in False God. Next, let's talk about But Daddy I Love Him. This is another track that really stood out to me. I think it's already one of my favorites on the record. I think already from the title we knew that it was going to be an emotional one. She sings, "Daddy I love him, I'm having his baby. No I'm not, but you should see your faces." And that's right, I do want to see people's reaction to that lyric when they first heard it before she said "no I'm not." Next, let's talk about Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, who is one of the few songs that she wrote all on her own for this album. For me, this is the song that she delivered with most power. Like, just to listen to how she's singing it, you can hear the anger, the emotion. And in a day when production can really drown some of that out, it's really nice to be able to hear that. The way she sings, I was tame, I was gentle, till circus life made me mean. I feel like it was almost drawing a parallel to Mirror Ball, where she talked about her life as a performer, having a spotlight on her, feeling like she needs to please different people, adapting to them. Now, there are rumors going around that this song is addressing her supposed feud with Olivia Rodrigo. Now, I don't know that any of this is true, but some people think that Olivia Rodrigo wrote The Grudge about Taylor and that this song is not necessarily a response to that song, but just about the same thing. I don't know if there's any truth to this. I'm curious what you guys think, but regardless of whatever drama people want to put behind it, I think the song is beautifully delivered. The way that she sings it is just amazing. Next we have I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, which just... It's a song to kill any joy that we had inside of us left by the time we arrived to this part of the album. This one just made me so sad. Basically, it's Taylor telling us that she has been suffering for a really long time and just faking it. She makes references to performing, so this could be including like during the Eras tour. She finishes the song laughing and saying, "'Cause I'm miserable and nobody even knows." And this just really did a number on me. This particular song I feel like had like Midnight's vibes. I don't know if you guys also got that. Next we have The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. This is also a very painful one, clearly about Taylor and someone who used her and then ghosted her. She sings, "You tried to buy pills from a friend of friends of mine and they just ghosted you. And now you know what that feels like." The third and final verse is also very powerful. And she explores the reasons as to why someone would do that to her. In 50 years will all this be declassified and you'll confess why you did it. Then we have Clara Bo, which is the first song ever where Taylor says her name. I loved The Black Dog. Then we had Chloe, Sam, Sophia, or Marcus. Off the bat, I was like, what does that even mean? But from the opening, my jaw basically dropped. "Your hologram stumbled into my apartment, hands in the hair of somebody in the darkness, named Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, and I just watched it happen." So from what I gather here is that she got cheated on and she was there to witness it. And if you're confused about the names, she's just basically saying that she couldn't identify who it was, that it could have been male or female. And yeah, I think it's just a way of saying, okay, it could have been anybody. But what's painful to hear is that she was just watching it unfold. So High School is also a song that stood out to me. I thought it was just a refreshing song to have amidst the depressing things that came from this album so far. This one is one that I suspect is about Travis Kelce, and it's just really cute. I kind of think about it like Suburban Legends, but with the opposite narrative, because Suburban Legends looks at a slightly more miserable take on a high school love, and this one looks at a more traditional rom-com high school love. Now, track number 24, like when I saw the name, I stopped on my tracks because I mean, just look at it. Clearly, this is spelling out Kim, so this song is most likely directed to Kim Kardashian. But she does sing, "And I changed your name and any real defining clues." So her capitalizing the letters K-I-M feels like a very obvious clue. So I wonder if she did that also as a way to hide somebody else's identity and then just kind of pin, like that we will be distracted by that and be like, okay, this is about Kim. But she sings, "One day your kid comes home singing a song that only us two is gonna know is about you." So let me know what you guys think about that, because I feel like maybe then the Kim is a little bit on the nose for that lyric that she said, that she like concealed it. There is so much to unpack here and I'm very excited to do it. I've only listened to the album through like twice now, so before we get into going deeper in there, I do have to do some deep dives. For me, this sounds a little bit like Folklore Evermore meets a combination of Midnights and 1989. You might wonder why 1989, but there are certain like synths or just atmospheric things that kind of remind me of that. I've heard people say it reminds them of Red. For me, not so much. But regardless of what the sound might sound similar to, I really am enjoying the album and I look forward to hearing what you guys think about it. Let me know what your favorite tracks are and what your first impressions were. And as always, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you in the next one.